From New York, you are listening to Extra Time, driven by Continental Tire, and it's a big day. It's a huge day. MLS All-Star, presented by Target, is back, and it's back in the form that we had, that we didn't have, and now we have again. Liga MX All-Stars against the MLS All-Stars, August 25th, Bank of California Stadium in downtown Los Angeles. You know you want to watch. You know you will be watching on August 25th. Fox Sports, TUDN, TSN, TVA, all across North America. We are going to take you through our current MLS and Liga MX players that we want to see in this game. We're going to look back into teams past, players past, into the history of these two magnificent leagues and give you our throwback players that should have played in this game. But first, I cede the floor to you, Dave. Please hype us up, get us excited. Tell us why this is the best thing that could have ever happened to the MLS All-Star game.
I love big events. I get riled up for World Cups, for Gold Cups, Copa Americas, Olympics, everything. This is going to be a huge event, and this is what the All-Star game should always be. It's going to be fun, but there's going to be some edge to it. And when you look at All-Star games, it's like you want to put all these people together and just see what happens. You want to see what it looks like when these players, who always are rivals against each other, have to be friends for 3 days and then get to play soccer together, and you go down on the field, and it's like, oh, Miguel Almiron and Carlos Vela are juggling together? That's super cool, and I didn't realize that was a thing that could happen. But you get it double now. It's not just the MLS All-Stars. Like, this is an experiment in Liga MX. You've never had this before. You've never put together the best group of players. So you're going to have Liga MX fans riled up about it, some super angry, which is going to be great when you have Funes Mori and APG starting alongside each other, rivals from Monterrey up top. Some super excited to see what it all looks like, some throwbacks, some classics, and then you get to go MLS versus Liga MX, which, as we know, mainly from the Nations League final, anytime you put U.S. and Canada and Mexico on one side, you're guaranteed a spectacle. So this is going to be awesome. This is what the All-Star game should always be. We've been waiting for it. We had to wait an extra year, and it was worth it.
It's going to be less friendly. Let's put it that way. There were moments in the past that have been a little bit unfriendly. I think back to like Pep Guardiola and Caleb Porter.
Pep will coach Liga MX.
We should bring him over, a little import for him. But this should be a little bit less friendly because both these leagues look at each other and they say, that's a measuring stick. At least MLS is saying that. Liga MX right now is probably saying, let's stay on top. Let's maintain hegemony over MLS. We'll see if it happens in this All-Star game. You're right. There will be parties. There will be moments to mingle. There will be a skills challenge as well. There'll be more dates and more details to be announced later, as well as ticket sales, which are going to be extremely important because if you want them, you're probably going to have to buy them real quick. I think the news is that in July sometime, those will be available. So check those out. Let's just jump into it.
Can I just say real quick? Yeah. One of the coolest parts of the last All-Star game was the skills challenge because Ache was on Atleti, and him and Jonah and Vela just ribbing each other the entire time. And now we're going to have all of that. Everyone's going to be boys, and everyone's going to hate each other and have all these things. So I think I might be more excited for the skills challenge than the game now.
Oh, and by the way,
my cats?
Yeah,
my cats are very, very excited for the skills challenge as well. Yeah.
They remember Nani. They remember hitting that crossbar and shutting it down on a Hail Mary. I mean, this is going to be a fun week. I cannot wait for August. Let's start with Liga MX. Current Liga MX, and we're calling this, let's call it the All-Star Draft, the Extra Time All-Star Draft. I'm very creative. I came up with that off the top of my head here. You start us off here, Dave. Who's the first current Liga MX player that you would say has to be in this game, must be in this game?
The logo. APG is Liga MX, and he has been for the last 8 years. He's been the best player. He's been the biggest storyline. He's been the most exciting player. He does things no one else can do. He wins, he scores, and his presence in Liga MX elevated the league, and he is now the biggest recruiter for the league. And you look at Talvin coming in now. All that stuff happens because APG came and literally goes around and goes, you want a cool life? I live in Mexico and I dominate this country and I'm fluent in Spanish and everyone loves me and I'm boys with the entire country, even though I score in every team. He's a god. I've seen him play twice in person and just watching him move is special. He's one of those players like when Drogba was on the field, where you're always watching him and he's always stalking someone. He's always on a back shoulder and then he's always yelling at everyone. He has become Liga MX and he's still in his peak of his ability. We saw him win CCL a year ago because of what he can do, even if he's quiet.
Not just CCL. He was awesome in Club World Cup. And to contextualize it for MLS fans who are watching this and maybe don't follow Liga MX as closely, he is both Sebastian Giovinco, and David Beckham in the type of effect he has had on this league. Because he has, and I mean, obviously it's not the global thing that David Beckham was, but his ability to open the doors for European stars in their prime, and he has delivered on the field to just an unquestionable extent. He's been the best player in either of these two leagues over the past, 7 years now? 8?
Okay, so that's the Tigres side.
Yeah.
That's the Volcan side of Monterrey. Let me go to the other side of Monterrey and bring noted FC Dallas Academy product, Rogelio Funes Mori, into this game. He might be a Mexican international soon too.
Sueño.
Yeah. He is probably the original Sueño in a lot of ways, and he is a boss as well. I would love to see a 2-forward setup with that. I would love to see him come back in LA and rep Monterrey, maybe re-rep in El Tri as well. He is the sort of star, the sort of player who can do things, maybe not in the same universe as APG, but maybe in the same galaxy. And he has those connections, whether it be CCL, where he came from. I want to see him back here. I want to see him repping Liga MX. I want to see him up top. What about something a little bit less flashy, Doyle?
Yeah, where I'm going.
Bring us the bite. Bring us the bite.
Rafael Baca. One of my favorite players from that great Quakes team in 2012 that won the Supporters Shield, just like quietly doing his job of winning every second ball in central midfield and spraying it to the wings and never making a mistake with his positioning, with his passing, with his ball retention. And like, he very quietly under the radar moved from San Jose to Cruz Azul after the 2013 MLS season, and he has basically been in the starting lineup for one of the Liga MX giants for the past 8 seasons. And that culminated in this year when Cruz Azul finally broke their nearly quarter-century long title drought. Baca was on the field for 90 throughout the entire Liga. He has been the heartbeat of this team, and he gets like no pub. He gets, even in Mexico, starting every game for one of the 3 biggest teams in the league, he has gotten almost no dap. He deserves it from fans south of the border and from fans here in the U.S. and, frankly, Canada as well, because he was that awesome when he was playing in MLS, and he's been that awesome for Cruz Azul in Liga MX. Just one of my favorite players, because even an all-star team, you have to have somebody who does the little things right. He has done the little things right as a professional soccer player for more than a decade now.
He's like a key part of the Goonies, and we don't remember that. His legacy in MLS is extremely strong as well.
Well, I would argue he's the best WCC conference player in Liga MX history.
Loyola Marymount Pride, man.
That's a debate. I know people get aggressive about that debate, but I'm just going to throw that out there as a take.
All right, here, we're going to make the MLS current All-Star draft a little bit easier on us, or more difficult, you might say, because I'm taking Chicharito and Vela off the board. Off the board. They're in the game. Everybody knows they're in the game. They have to be in the game. The game's in LA. They're both sides of LA. They're 2 of the biggest Mexican stars of all time. So Chicharito, congratulations. It is from me, Andrew Wiebe, who delivers the news to you that you will be an MLS All-Star. I'm sure of it, as well as you too, Carlos Vela. Welcome to the squad. You're taking on Liga MX. You're doing it together. Don't give
Carlos Vela second billing there, by the way, because he is the headline.
That's true. They can fight over that. Yeah, you're right, Anders. Friend of the show, Chicharito. If you haven't seen that interview, go check it out. So they're off the board. Okay. I'm going to start the draft here on the MLS side, and people are going to yell at me. They're going to comment section and be like, what are you doing? He is not an all-star this year. You're wrong, because all-star games aren't just about current performance, at least in this case. In my opinion, they're about entertainment. They're about storylines. And yes, Doyle, they're about narratives. And that's why Michael Bradley is going into this midfield to be coached by his father, Bob Bradley, who will be the coach of this game on the LAFC side. We're throwing it back to those old U.S. men's national team days. And we're putting in a guy who knows how to wind up the opponents, who will understand the stakes, the rivalry, what it means from CCL, from the U.S. men's national team. Just gets this region intrinsically because he's been there and done it for so many years. Michael Bradley into the MLS All-Star team. You go. Who else? Who else we got?
So mine actually is an all-star. Sorry if I misunderstood the assignment here. And on top of that, there is narrative, and it's Lucas Zelarayan. Won MLS Cup last year, the best free kick taker in the league now, the heart of Columbus, and of course, played about 5 years for Tigres, won every trophy, but was never able to fully establish himself as the star of the team.
Not every trophy.
All right.
Look a little early, huh?
All right, continental success guy. But he never established himself, I think, as that elite elite level in Liga MX. And you could tell the way he came out and played against Monterrey in the first leg before the soft yellow card that got him suspended. That's for you refs. That he wants to send a message that he deserved to be seen that way. And this is a chance for him to do it.
Yeah. I mean, that like both those are very good picks for, I think, obvious reasons.
Fun picks.
Yeah. I'm going to go for what I think is an obvious pick as well. In goal, we're going to have David Ochoa from RSL.
Wait, does the game end with a ceremonial kick into the stands? I mean, we got to.
I sure hope so.
Souvenirs are very important in times like this. There might be a little boy up there who's just been dreaming of getting a ball from David Ochoa, and if he sees him, he's going to put that thing on a line.
And you know that David Ochoa he's a generous spirit, so he will punt that ball directly to that child. In thinking over this assignment and trying to figure out which current MLS players are really born for, the USA-Mexico rivalry and for big events like this, David Ochoa he sprang to mind really quick, but on the condition that Adrian Heath has to be Bob Bradley's top assistant.
Of course.
Oh, boy. This is going to be so much fun. Of course, August 25th, the MLS All-Star Game presented by Target. Liga MX All-Stars against MLS All-Stars. You can watch on Fox Sports, TUDN, TSN, TVA. Basically, anywhere in North America, you will have it over the airwaves. More details to come on tickets, but let me bust out my time machine before we go. Because you said it, Dave, and I think you were absolutely right. This is the perfect matchup. But my God, what it could have been if it had been there throughout the years. And there have been some wonderful all-star games and formats, and we love them all. But there are some players that should have been playing in something like this, and now we have to pick them out and imagine what it would have been like. Let's start with historical Liga MX. Who are you bringing in? Who are you saying, you know what, in your prime, playing down south, you need to be in a game against Major League Soccer? I've got a really obvious one, but maybe I'm going to start it. Jorge Campos. He could play both sides. In this case, he's going to play for Liga MX, but he's going to play half at goalkeeper, half at forward, and he is going to have the responsibility to design all of the all-star jerseys.
Weeby's really leaning into this, and I approve of it.
I love it. Once I get started, I'm like, I can't help myself.
Oh, we're doing shtick? Oh, okay.
He's also going to show up in a supercar, provided to him by probably MLS in this case. So he's going to whip up in that thing. It's going to be a TV event. It's going to be magnificent. Welcome to the squad, Jorge Campos.
I'm going to go with an all-star who really did earn it on the field of play in Liga MX. Hercules Gomez was awesome when he was playing, specifically for Santos, but he was really good with Puebla as well. He won a title with Santos. He won, I think, a Copa MX with Puebla. He was a leading scorer. He won a Golden Boot down there as well. He obviously terrorized MLS teams in CCL. I think Herc would
embrace this too.
Oh yeah,
that's what you need. You need personalities that say, "I was born for this." Hercules Gomez was born to straddle that line.
Natural born troll.
Just to lob trash talk over the edge at Major League Soccer as well, and that's just entertainment value, man. That's just entertainment. What about you, Dave? Who's your pick?
How many do I get?
You get one, but if you want to go on a rapid fire Weeby style, list every name in your head, you could also do that too.
So I'm going to go Chaco Jimenez first as my pick. He's the guy that I really fell in love with when I fell in love with Liga MX and the sport, and was, one of the guys who dominated the league and everything went through.
I was more of a Xenia guy.
Fair for that. And also he's got a son now who's scoring goals. So you could actually have a father-son duo if you went time machine and everything. If we do Legends game, whatever it is. Here's the rapid fire. Salvador Cabañas, go. Sambu, Temo, Chente, who also played in MLS. Chente. He got some doubles. Humberto Suazo, who terrorized Major League Soccer and is one of the great strikers. Darwin Quintero in his prime. The one player, if this ever happened, who would be in every single All-Star game, Liga MX versus MLS, is Bofo Bautista. No one knew how to bring flair and troll at that level. Boca Juniors fans are still angry now that I just said his name, and he played for Chivas USA for like 7 minutes. So that would be my one that goes both ways. Greatest center backs, I think, in Liga MX history, Felipe Beloy and Hugo Ayala. Jackson Martinez in his prime, Chucho Benitez. Omar Bravo, who could also go both ways.
Oh
This is
my
like
gosh.
this is like a Weeby segment.
I know.
Just start
Now I
listing
now
names.
feel what it's like to be on the other side of this. When I'm doing it, I'm like, this is great content. When Dave's doing it, I'm like, can we get to the
We're
former
talking about a
MLSers?
top 10 league in the world. We're talking about a league with history. There's a lot to get to.
Let's get this done here. On the MLS side, formers, I'm taking the entire CBS Paramount Plus desk. We've got Dempsey, we've got Chuck D, and we've got Gooch. They're coming into this game. Gooch had a cup of coffee with
Yeah, Gooch is getting an all-star appearance.
Exactly. He can make it in. I'm talking
the
like
Frank Lampard Memorial.
I'm talking
All-Star
AC Milan,
appearance.
like box like standard of the age Deuce or Gooch. And then obviously Deuce understands this and knows the stakes better than anybody. And then Charlie's just gonna be stanky legging all over the field. So that's
And
gonna
plus,
be fun.
is he going to wear like an ETR armband while he's out there
Exactly.
as well? He's gonna
Rep
have
us,
the ETR
Charlie.
test.
Rep us and lock up any cars around the field that you have there for promotional purposes. Otherwise, Charlie might be doing donuts.
So
with
we're
that
gonna
goal.
get some more ETR representation then, like via Kalen Carr. So 1 degree removed from an ETR regular. I'm going with Cuauhtémoc Blanco as a former MLSer, just because like he was awesome for the Chicago Fire, and if you think about what's happened to the Chicago Fire since he left, it has been less awesome. And I just think Qua playing on the MLS side in this game would be amazing. That said, it was a struggle not to pick Hugo Sanchez. Picking Hugo Sanchez, even at the end, like the very end, when he played with Dallas 25 years ago, that would have been a spectacle. But
Plus,
you
he
can't
would
go
have
wrong.
he would have showed up to the press conference and said, "I don't think Tata's good enough," and then destabilized the entire Mexican national team in that press conference.
All right.
You guys
Finish it
wrote
up
down all
strong.
the legends. There's one we can't forget: Landon Donovan, the face of this rivalry. I think on both sides for over a decade. There's going to be.
Wait. You mentioned you wanted a father-son duo. Do you want Landon and Oswaldo Sanchez then? Because
Whoa!
Let's go.
I do actually want that. As Dave was listing his list, I was like, say Osvaldo, say Osvaldo, say Osvaldo, and then bring Eddie
Would
Johnson
never
in for
do
this.
You would never catch me doing it.
LD has to be there. Absolutely. If I can throw out an underground pick here, it would be Mullet Dom Kinnear into this game on the Liga MX side. That could be really fun as well. Those have been our extra time Liga MX MLS All-Star Draft presented by Target. Thank you, Continental Tire, for always supporting us and helping us put out a show twice a week. If you've enjoyed this, you'll enjoy Mondays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. Eastern. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, we're breaking down Major League Soccer, the U.S. national team, Canadian national team, any story of note in North American soccer, and it comes out on YouTube at 7 p.m. as well on Mondays and Thursdays. And throughout this summer of soccer, Gold Cup, World Cup qualifying, we will be there covering all of it. So stay tuned to that as well. Let us know. Who would you want to have in this game on both sides, MLS, Liga MX? Who should be the coach for Liga MX? We'll talk about that on Thursday's show as well.
Juan Reynoso. Come on. What he did this year and what he represents to that Cruz Azul team. No, you're shaking your head. No,
You want an all-star. You want the
Tuca.
sunglasses. You want Tuca.
I want Super
Tuca
Saiyan
will run
Piojo.
LA.
Give me Super Saiyan Piojo. That's what I want in this game.
No.
MLS All-Star Game presented by Target, August 25th at Bank of California Stadium in downtown Los Angeles. You can watch on Fox Sports, TUDN, TSN, TVA. Skills Challenge will be there too. More details on that to come. More details on ticket sales. I know that matters to you folks as well. It's also on, when I say Fox Sports, I mean Big Fox. FOX, capital letters. Over the air, through your antenna, toss it up, throw a little bit of aluminum foil on that, and make sure you're catching this MLS All-Star Game presented by Target. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll have more coverage on this on Thursday. Let us know in the comments what you think. We'll see you next time. Did you enjoy that? Was that right up your alley? Well, go subscribe to Extra Time wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also check the full shows on the MLS YouTube channel right over here, and you could subscribe to the MLS channel right here. Thanks for listening and watching, everybody.